Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 2021 Pawsies, the event of the year, the award for the best film featuring pets and the First Amendment's five freedoms. I am your host, Gary Sawyer. I am usually a professor at the Greenlee School of Journalism and Mass Communication, but today I am your MC. And I hope you all dressed up for the occasion as much as I did, because this is a big event. This event is brought to you by the First Amendment Committee from the Greenlee School of Journalism and Mass Communication. The committee is made up of faculty, staff, and students, and we put on the First Amendment Day events, which are going on this week. We also coordinate other First Amendment issues, and we discuss issues surrounding the First Amendment. Membership is open to anyone. If you're interested in joining, contact one of us, and we will talk to you about joining our First Amendment Committee. Inside this envelope is the winner of the Posies. The votes have been counted. We had nominations, and then we asked for a vote of the people, and inside this envelope is the winner of the vote of the people. These votes have been counted by PricewaterhouseCoopers, the same accounting firm that does things for the Oscars. And these votes have been decided today, and they have been hermetically sealed since the moment they decided the votes. Nobody knows the winner. It'll be a surprise to all of us. So we have 10 videos that made the finals, and we will show those. And we also have some public service announcements from Julie Rosa, who is our First Amendment specialist and works at the Greenlee School of Journalism, and she will give us some First Amendment specialists. So I'm gonna share my screen. We're gonna run through those, and we will show you the videos and go from there. And then we will come back at the end, and I will show you. We will determine the winner. So our first video is a PowerPoint from Isabel Phillips. So we will play that. It's, maybe not a traditional video, but we're very open, and we don't have too many rules. So here is that submission. Thank you, Isabel. That was wonderful. Now, it wouldn't be an award show without some commercials. So here is a public service announcement, as I said, from Julie Rosa, who is the First Amendment specialist at the Greenlee School of Journalism. Here we go.
A public service announcement for Pawsies 2021. Do you know why the First Amendment matters? Because without the First Amendment and its protections of our freedoms of speech, press, petition, assembly, and religion, we couldn't speak our minds, write our thoughts, demand our laws change, gather together, or practice our beliefs, whatever that may be for each of us. Take the freedom of speech, for instance. Even Bitsy knows how important it is to speak up.
Oh.
Shouldn't you feel free to speak up too?
Thank you, Julie, for that great message. And speaking of freedom of speech, here's a video, a submission from Jordan Swanson, who is with his dog exercising his freedom of speech. Of course, not all freedom of speech is positive. Here's Jerry Vaughn and his dog, and I think the dog may have a complaint. Thank you, Jerry. And now another word from our sponsor. Here's Julie with another First Amendment public service announcement.
Amendment matters. A public service announcement. Do you know why the First Amendment matters? Take the freedom of the press, for instance. Even our cat knows how important it is to be able to read what others write. Shouldn't you feel free to write and read too?
Thank you, Julie. Speaking of freedom of the press, here's a contribution from Morgan, which talks about freedom of the press and also uses a pretty broad definition of pets, which we encourage people to do.
Hello, Ames, and welcome back to Pause and Listen, the news segment that covers the most important animal news of the day. I'm tonight's anchor, Beasley Bear. Let's jump right into it. The More Animal Treats Act was debated in Congress on Thursday. After a petition for the act got more than 10,000 paws of approval over the last month, legislators finally acted. The chamber is divided, some saying the act will benefit families around the country, others worried about health implications. Stay tuned for next week's show because we'll be inviting some of the leading experts on whether more treats actually leads to health problems. In an interview with Governor Owlman today, he said the act was long overdue. Doug Dog has been covering this event all day down at the Capitol. Let's take it to him. Beasley Bear, signing off.
Thank you, Morgan. And another video that takes kind of a broad definition of pets, Molly Blanco and her talking potato heads.
Hey, guys, isn't it great that we're all allowed to practice the religion we believe in?
Yeah, even though I don't practice your religion, I think it's awesome that we are all free to believe in any religion without the government intervening.
You're right. The First Amendment is great. It protects our freedoms like religion.
Yay!
Thanks, Molly. And we will have a public service announcement on freedom of religion in a few minutes. But first, let's have another short commercial from Julie, this one about freedom to petition.
Amendment matters. A public service announcement. Do you know why the First Amendment matters? Take the freedom to petition the government for a redress of grievances, for instance. Even our pets know how important it is to be able to demand changes when life isn't good. Shouldn't you feel free to ask your government for change too?
Thanks, Julie. Another great message there. And speaking of petitions, can our animals petition us? Well, Truman Boyd Harris's animals do just exactly that. Thank you. That was great. Here is Elizabeth's dogs celebrating their freedoms also.
Hi, I'm Charlie, the Golden Retriever. I'm going to show you how I demonstrate my First Amendment rights. Congress shall make no law abridging the freedom of speech. Even though I don't bark that much, Congress shall make no law prohibiting the right for me to petition, especially with my ball. Congress shall make no law abridging the right for me to peacefully assemble, especially with all my friends. And finally, Congress cannot tell me what to believe in.
Thank you. We have another video here. This is from Paige Messenger, and this is a video about her dog, which may or may not have allergies.
What? Tell Paige.
Bless you. So dramatic.
She is so dramatic. All of the other kids in here.
So we are very, very close, folks, to the opening and announcing the winner of the Posies. But first, let's hear another quick public service announcement from Julie about the freedom to assemble.
Do you know why the First Amendment matters? Take the freedom to peaceably assemble, for instance. Everybody likes to hang out with friends. Want to assemble with the chickens? Why don't you say hi? Well, almost everybody. Shouldn't you feel free to assemble with others too?
Maybe dogs and chickens just don't like to assemble. Anyway, but we all know that other pets, especially dogs, like to assemble. And here are some a video submitted by Carolina Vieira showing the dogs just doing just that. Very good. And of course, we did tell people to use the broad definition of pets. And so Max did exactly that. Also, this video featured some music, but YouTube will not allow us because of copyright laws to use the music. So just pretend there's music behind this. Thanks, Max. And so we are literally moments away from announcing the winner of the 2001 Posies. But we have one last public service announcement from Julie, and we will talk about the right to a religion. You will notice that we put these in order of SPAR, to spell it SPAR, speech, press, petition, assembly, religion. That's one way to remember the 5 freedoms. So here is Julie on the freedom of religion. Hopefully.
Amendment matters. A public service announcement. Do you know why the First Amendment matters? Take the freedom of religion, for instance. We are free to decide how to practice our beliefs, no matter what they may be, or to not practice for that matter. Aren't you glad we have the freedom of religion?
So that, ladies and gentlemen, are the 10 videos that made it through the rigorous voting of the Pawsies. And all of our 10 finalists will receive a First Amendment t-shirt, some assembly required. It's a little hard to see with my background. Some assembly required t-shirt with the First Amendment freedoms on the back. They will receive those. In addition, the winner of the 2001 Posies will receive a fantastic gift which we will not mention because it will make everybody else envious. So in this envelope, again, if I hold it up right, is the winner of the 2001 Posies. Nobody knows. The world is waiting for this announcement. If we had an orchestra, or if we had a band, or even if we had a guy with a snare drum, we'd be having a drum roll right now. But here it is. We open the envelope. We open it up. And who is the winner of the 2021 Posies? Ladies and gentlemen, Paige Messenger and her sneezing dog are the winners of the 2021 Posies. That ends our event for tonight. Thank you for joining. I'm sure you are as well dressed as your host. Remember to celebrate the First Amendment all the time, but especially during First Amendment week. There are some events still going on, and you can look at some of the events on video as we do, and watch out for the 2022 First Amendment days. Hopefully we can be in person, and we will have the 2022 Posies, which will be even more competitive. Good night, and good luck, and be safe. Thank you.